Welcome back to my channel, everybody. I hope all of you guys are having a great day. Now, this is your fourth stimulus check update and daily news reports. Now, many of you guys can request an extra stimulus payment. There are also some of you that can choose to receive a single annual tax credit instead of monthly direct payments. So welcome back to my channel, everybody. I hope all of you guys are having a great day. Now, millions of Americans are waiting for a fourth round of stimulus checks to be passed before the end of the month. Democrats in Congress are hoping to pass President Biden's multi-trillion-dollar proposal to help families in need and fund infrastructure projects.
That holds our economy back. Rather than competing for consumers, they are consuming their competitors. Rather than competing for workers, they're finding ways to gain the upper hand on labor.
Democratic lawmakers are discussing using reconciliation to enact President Biden's ambitious infrastructure plans, going beyond fixing roads and bridges to fighting climate change and caring for children and the elderly. The party, which holds the Senate majority in the coming weeks, intends to use a maneuver to pass the parts of President Biden's infrastructure program that don't attract bipartisan support. The reconciliation procedure enables the 100-member Senate to pass measures with a simple majority vote instead of the 60 votes required by Senate rules to stop debates known as filibusters. That means Democrats, who currently have 50 Senate seats, can stop trying to get at least 10 Republicans to vote with them. Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris can break a tie given the party majority. Comment below, everybody, if you think our Democratic lawmakers should use a budget reconciliation process. Now, Biden has already used reconciliation to pass a $1.9 trillion stimulus aid package, but majority parties cannot use the process all the time. Legislation has to have a direct budgetary impact to qualify. Some current Democrats consider trying it more often, but recent guidance by a Senate parliamentarian reportedly discouraged the idea.
No more bad mergers that lead to mass layoffs, higher prices, fewer options for workers and consumers alike. My executive order includes 72 specific actions. I expect the federal agencies, and they know this, to help restore competition.
Fortunately, Biden's Democrats can use reconciliation again this calendar year, before the previous use was connected to the 2021 fiscal budget. Over 20 Democratic senators sent a letter earlier this year, calling on President Biden to enact recurring payments. The lawmaker said almost 6 in 10 people say the $1,400 payments said to be included in the rescue package will last them less than 3 months. Those supporting the move for additional stimulus checks have pointed to evidence that the payments do offer much needed relief. So leave a comment below if you agree that President Biden should pass another round of stimulus payments soon. And Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders said in a Twitter message, "Government can and should continue to address the needs of working people, not just the 1%. Everyday Americans are also exerting pressure for the government to provide further pressure. So far, more than 2.5 million people have signed an online petition started by an unemployed restaurant owner, calling for new $2,000 stimulus checks for adults and $1,000 payments for children, which would then be followed by additional payments when needed. Given that unemployment has remained high this year, as the crisis has lingered, the field of Americans who might take advantage of the free healthcare is massive. This week alone, nearly 3.5 million people are on unemployment, the government reported on Thursday. Other types of relief of unemployed Americans provided in Biden's stimulus aid measure have included beefed up jobless benefits through early September, and a tax break on unemployment payments that has resulted in surprise tax refunds for millions of people. If you're uninsured and have received unemployment compensation at any time this year, even for just 1 week, you can enter the information at healthcare.gov. Then shop for a free plan on the site and sign up by August 15th. When the current open enrollment period ends, the stimulus law says your income will not be taken into account. California recently passed a bill that allocates funds to send a $600 stimulus check to anyone making less than $75,000 a year. The bill also includes an additional $500 payments for adults with dependents and undocumented families. Those who have already received a check during the first round will not be sent another. California Governor Gavin Newsom was expected to sign the bill into law this week, but as of right now, it is unknown.
If you get a pay stub, you probably noticed a tax for Social Security. You put money into this pot your whole working life, and then you draw from the pot when you retire. Social Security has kept millions of older Americans out of poverty, and it's been a critical support for workers with disabilities. But Social Security benefits are hard to live on by themselves. To Today, the average person on Social Security gets about $1,350 a month, or about $16,000 a year. And with families struggling to save for retirement and pensions disappearing, most retirees are relying on Social Security to provide most or nearly all of their income in retirement.
Despite the large meatpacking companies, the FDA is being asked to work with states to import prescription drugs from Canada and help bring down prices. And Biden encouraged the FTC to target the way that tech companies collect data and track users.
I know America can't succeed unless American business succeeds. But let me be very clear. Capitalism without competition isn't capitalism. It's exploitation.
The executive order also aims to make it easier for workers to change jobs by seeking a ban on non-compete agreements. Now, that's when a business prohibits employees from working for a competitor, and it's happening at white-collar jobs in Silicon Valley and minimum wage jobs at fast food restaurants.
You'd feel powerless, disrespected, bullied, trapped. That's not right. Workers should be free to take a better job if someone offers it. If your employer wants to keep you, he or she should have to make it worth your while to stay.
But the U.S. Chamber of Commerce said this idea that there's too much concentration of power is out of touch with reality. Quote, our economy needs both.
That applies to both Social Security and Medicare as we know them.
Main point that all of us are saying that for anybody to come forward and say you've got to cut Social Security, you've got to privatize Social Security, you've got to raise the retirement age because it's a crisis right now, it's just not true.
This is a serious movement to undo the most successful government program of the 20th century that has huge and broad popularity. And our job is to be a Paul Revere and let people know. And so we did pass the Save Our Restaurants Act. $28 billion is available to our restaurants in very good, lenient terms for the next 6 months. Our purpose here is to tell the restaurants of New York, get ready, help is on the way. Within a few weeks, the website will be up. In the meantime, the one thing our restaurant owners should do to prepare is just get their documentation of their losses between this year and last year. That's basically the criteria they need. And the SBA already has a website up, which is on our press release. I want to say it out loud. Do we have it in?
It's on the release.
Yeah, but I want to read it.
Sure.
Here, let me get it. Okay.
The last page.
Yes. Oh, God, it's a long website, isn't it? Okay, but if you go to www.sba.gov, you will find all of the criteria you need to start a